In July 1969, while the world turned beneath a night sky, three men soared through the black silence of space. They were not soldiers, not conquerors, but pioneers, representing all of humanity. Their destination was the moon. The moon landing wasn't born from peace, it was born from a race. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in the Cold War, competing not just for global influence, but for dominance in space. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy made a promise that seemed impossible. We choose to go to the moon, not because it is easy, but because it is hard. That promise ignited the minds of thousands. Scientists, engineers, mathematicians, many barely out of college answered the call. Behind every mission patch were years of trials, explosions, setbacks, and sleepless nights. But by 1969, the impossible was within reach. On July 16, 1969, at 9:32 a.m., the massive Saturn V rocket thundered into the sky, carrying astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins aboard Apollo 11. The world watched. Children, parents, scientists, skeptics, all eyes turned to the heavens. For 4 days, the spacecraft journeyed 240,000 miles through the vacuum of space. Michael Collins remained in orbit aboard the command module, while Armstrong and Aldrin entered the tiny lunar module called Eagle. On July 20th, they began their descent. But the moon had its own challenges. As Eagle neared the surface, alarms blared in the cabin. The onboard computer was overloaded. Then the landing site appeared full of boulders and craters. Armstrong took manual control. Fuel was running low. Silence stretched across Earth. Then at 4:17 p.m. Eastern Time came the words, "Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed." The room erupted at mission control. The planet exhaled. But history wasn't made until the hatch opened. Nearly 7 hours later, in the still darkness of the lunar surface, Neil Armstrong descended the ladder. A camera mounted to the module transmitted the moment live to over 600 million people on Earth. He stepped down and said words now etched into time. "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Buzz Aldrin followed, calling the view magnificent desolation. They spent just over 2 hours walking the moon, collecting rocks, taking photographs, planting the American flag, not as a symbol of ownership, but of achievement. 2 days later, they rejoined Collins and began the journey home. On July 24th, they splashed down safely in the Pacific Ocean. The moon landing was more than a technological feat. It was a turning point for all humankind, for in that moment, we weren't divided by borders or politics. We were one species standing on another world. Apollo 11, July 1969. We came in peace for all mankind.